Imagine going from this to this. This was 37-year-old Christine Banfield. She was a pediatric ICU nurse and a mother to one 4-year-old little girl. So Christine and Brendan here had been together for nearly 2 decades. It was said that they had had their troubles, had their affairs, even went through counseling at one point or another, but that they always made it through. Until that is, Juliana Magalese entered their life. You see, they hired this woman as an au pair, a live-in nanny. Just a few weeks after she moved in, she started having this affair with Brendan, Christine's husband. This went on for nearly 6 months before they decided that Christine just had to go. They then started plotting her murder. That's where 38-year-old Joseph Ryan enters the story. Together, the two set this man up and ended up killing him at the same time that they killed Christine. He was shot twice, and Christine was stabbed about 7 times. And FetLife is a website where you can meet up with people, link with them to do whatever fetish you're into, I guess. So Brendan and Juliana, made this fake account in Christine's name, and they were looking for somebody to come do a fake rape session on Christine. They were posing as her and said, I want you to come in and do it. I'm going to be pretending to be asleep. I'll leave the door unlocked. Fine. It took a little bit of trying, but eventually they had somebody that was willing to play the game. So they set this man up to come to the house at 7:20 a.m. after they had both left at 7 a.m. and Christine lay asleep on her day off in her bed. Juliana was allegedly taking the little girl to the zoo, and that's when she decided to turn back and go back home because they forgot their lunches. Well, when she got back home, she sees Joseph's car in the driveway. Of course, she doesn't know who this is. So the plan was you call Christine and ask her who is that in the house because you've never seen them before. When she doesn't answer because we hid her phone in the kitchen drawer, you call my phone. Brendan is going to be parked down the street at the McDonald's waiting for Juliana to call him to tell him, oh my gosh, there's a scary man in the house. I'm scared. And Christine's not answering. You should come over or come back home. So here comes Mr. Brendan to save the day. Conveniently, their automatic lock system on their doors was deactivated at 5:30 in the morning. So Joseph was able to walk right in. Brendan then enters the house, says he hears sexual sounds, and proceeds to just go get the lunches out of the refrigerator, specifically from the top left corner, because details are important when you're on the stand defending yourself, right? Gets the lunches and says, I'm just going to leave because it sounds like she's having an affair. I'm going to leave, give these lunches to Juliana and to my daughter, and I'm going to leave. But then he says that the sounds start to get a little painful and he gets a little worried. So he starts going up the stairs, where then he sees Juliana and the daughter come inside after he told them at the car to stay in the car. I'm going to go inside and check it out. So he just looks at them, doesn't say anything like get back out, anything like that, just continues to go up in the foyer and look in the room, and he sees his wife completely naked standing there with Joseph. Apparently he's got a knife to her neck. Christine says, oh my gosh, he's going to stab me. Help me. He's got a knife. And Brendan pulls out his pistol because he's a federal agent. And so he has one on him. Pulls out his pistol and shoots Joseph one time in the head. By that time, Christine has already been stabbed 7 times. Brendan only recounts in his story 2 hand strikes coming down to have stabbed her. So we're wondering, well, when did the other 5 stab wounds come in? Because he said he walked into the room and Christine was fine, saying, help me, he's got a knife. It didn't appear that she was already stabbed. That's one inconsistency. He then said that Joseph still tried to get up and he was a threat. So Juliana somehow knew his safe code to his gun safe for work, and she got in there and got his other pistol out and shot Joseph in the chest, all while he was trying to save his wife's life. He was trying to stop the blood flow, allegedly with a towel and a blanket and something else. When Juliana finally called 911, she actually ended up hanging up right away. 15 minutes later, they call 911 again, and Juliana starts to tell them there's a man in the house and she's been stabbed and he's dead. The police get there. She goes outside. She puts on this whole show of how scared she is. She can't believe this just happened. They go inside. They find Brendan leaning over the wife, trying to help her. Downstairs in the basement is Valerie, alone by herself, after I'm sure hearing gunshots and I can only imagine what her mother would have sounded like being stabbed 7 times. But is Brendan asking about his daughter? No, he's not mentioning her in any way. Juliana goes in, gets the daughter. She goes to the police. Case is closed. They both died. This was a case of an intruder who broke into the house and tried to rape this woman. He stabbed her before he was shot dead by the hero husband. And then the hero au pair saw that he didn't actually die, and she saved the husband's life by shooting him a second time. Well, the police didn't necessarily believe all that. They got suspicious because there was no signs of a break-in. And then when they were searching the house for a second time, they found pictures in the master bedroom of Juliana and Brendan on the nightstand in Christine's room. Juliana's room was then also empty, so the police have taken note that the au pair moved into the wife's room and they are clearly together based on the pictures in the house. So the police start doing some investigating. What sickens me is that that baby girl lived with these two after they did what they did to her mom for months while they investigated this. It didn't take very long before police caught on, arrested them both, and Juliana didn't take too long before she flipped. She took a plea deal and she gave them everything that they needed on Brendan. It was now at trial, and Brendan was caught lying on the stand. So when his boss got on the stand and said, I was out of town, I didn't have a meeting scheduled with him. Basically, there was no superiors in town for him to have been going to a meeting to that day. They also questioned his attire because he was wearing blue jeans and tennis shoes. But this is a very fancy corporation that he works for, okay? This is the IRS, okay? You're not going to a fancy meeting wearing blue jeans and tennis shoes. You're going to be suited and booted. But he knew that he had different plans that day. So, anyways, she flipped. She told the court everything, and he refutes it all. He says he's innocent. Now, personally, I'm not buying it at all. Currently, the jury is out deliberating. They did not come to a decision today, Friday, January 30th, but they will have a decision hopefully on Monday, and I'll be live streaming it on Court TV. Come watch with me. If you see the red ring around my picture, go ahead and pop in and we can watch his fate be decided together.